What screams I'm insecure? Reading this whole thread and praying none of the answers apply to me. Constantly having to post how amazing your relationship is. My sister-in-law does this, and then boom, she broke up with whoever the hell cares, and proceeds to post a bunch of those inspirational quotes about how the most caring, soft-hearted people get taken advantage of, and then they turn into the coldest, hardest person you know. God, people who claim to be empaths and are stuck in their victim complexes, they are just callous. Yeah, I had one of these break my heart recently. Thought she was my best friend, turns out she was just looking to vent her. Taught me boundaries though, so gotta thank her for that one. Cheers 2021. Only took me 35 years. By the way guys, if you are enjoying this video so far, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It will help us out quite a bit, and if you don't enjoy the videos in the future anymore, you can always unsubscribe. Let's get back to the video. People never shutting up about their IQ. Yeah, I have a distaste for that too. Fortunately, I'm much more acute than a lot of other Homo sapiens who just aren't as fortunate as I to develop such a well-perceptive disposition. Inconceivable that such incomprehension could draw breath in this world, but not surprising that I consider them so simple-minded. I mean, I'm very apt, so it's no surprise that they couldn't reach my level knowledge. Yeah, honestly, I'm even sometimes surprised by my own intelligence and learning ability. Someone referred to other people as mere mortals in a Reddit reply to me once. Yikes. Mere mortals and vile fiend or fiends, and others of such ilk are fantastic phrases that we should almost never have an opportunity to use. I love sprinkling fun phrases into my speech or my writing, but saying mere mortals and pretending that it doesn't apply to myself as well as everyone else is just sad. Putting someone down in a group conversation to make themselves seem better. In my engineering class last semester, I was basically put in a group to give a few solutions to a problem. I made a suggestion, and one person in my group was like, wow, that's a bad idea, and I basically just shut up for the rest of the thing. Then when all the groups presented their solutions, OFC, they all had variations of my bad idea, and I internally facepalmed so fiend hard. Edit, and to clarify, yes, the professor thought it was a great solution. Acting like you're so much busier than everyone else. I have a coworker who pretends to talk on the phone with people, always emails everybody at 10 PM to make it look like he's working late, constantly complains about how much is on his plate, etc. He feels the need to constantly be validating his worth to everyone. We've got a guy like that at work, constantly telling everyone every meeting about pulling 20-hour days. Managing director looked him in the eye and told him in front of everyone that perhaps he needs to work on his time management skills if everyone else can get their similar or bigger workloads done in a reasonable time and have a life. I and a few others couldn't help but laugh out loud. Eater, guy in question, is an arrogant prick who constantly talks down to everyone. MD is an amazing leader and is very much for work/life balance and ensuring our work environment is excellent. After many terrible toxic workplaces, I feel like I hit a gold mine here. Being a adult yelling at the teenage cashiers/retail associates over the most minor of inconveniences and errors. Bonus points when they scream, when I was your age, proving that they're insecure about their current age or simply jealous of other people still being youthful. Yes. Or yelling at waiters, delivery people, or anyone when there is a power imbalance. My mom worked at JCPenney a few years back, and some lady was screaming at the young cashier my mom worked with. It was something so stupid, and the young cashier finally told her to. The lady then threw her hot coffee in the cashier's face. My mom called the cops right away, and the lady was charged with assault of a minor. The cashier was only 17. When I was an architectural student, my professor told me I'd never be an architect, but I later became an architect anyway despite his cynicism. When my design was used for a new skyscraper in New York City, I went all the way back to Wesleyan to show him how wrong he was and how successful I'd become. Looking back on it, I guess I was a little insecure. Classic schmoss B. Shocked by how few people get the reference. That show was insanely popular and only ended 7 years ago. Can't believe it's been 7 years old. Always having to be the center of attention. Some people are just naturally the center of attention. Other people are insecure because they have never been the center of attention, nor will they ever be. Edit. Got my first gold. Thanks. I think the key here is having to be. Some people are naturally charming and secure in themselves. They will end up drawing attention. Those people usually also notice that they are doing it and will redirect that attention to others. Ask them questions. Get everyone involved in whatever is going on. They naturally become the center of attention, but they share it. These folks are not insecure. Then there's the people who demand everyone pay attention to them. Tropes that come to mind are the overly braggy, over the top people who will always direct the focus back to themselves. There's your insecure people. I just think it's a subtle difference, but an important distinction. Couples sharing a Facebook or Instagram page. One of them cheated. I can guarantee it. I had this guy on my Instagram, a friend from high school in which we hooked up, but it was just that. Aside from that, we were cool friends. He had since gotten married, and he liked one of my pictures on IG. Then shortly after, his page was promptly deleted. Some days later, he re-emerged on IG on a shared account with his wife. It was very bizarre, and right then I knew they didn't have the type of marriage she portrayed it out to be. Constantly judging others for the stupidest, smallest or gets second-hand embarrassment from you actually being comfortable with yourself and being yourself in public. Example: dancing to a song in a car. Have a friend like that. One of the most insecure people, never stop talking about anyone and everyone. Thankfully, I think he is slowly learning his lesson. Edit. Secondary sources: I used to be pretty insecure, so I know these things firsthand. Till I really look deep inside myself. Be careful with the second-hand embarrassment one. There's a big difference between insecurity and discomfort. That person may be insecure in a perfectly legitimate way, and you putting them in that situation is simply making them uncomfortable. Yeah, I get what you mean, but knowing this guy, he gets embarrassed by the smallest things, like if you just drop your wallet in public. It's insane. When my wife and I moved into our house, I got approached by the neighbor across the street. He introduced himself, said he was retired from the military, and said he makes a ton of money from disability. I think during our 10-minute or so conversation, the topic of money was brought up at least 5 times, and it all circled back to how well off he was. And then he started talking about the neighbor that lives next door to us. I could tell he really wanted people to be impressed and like him. Impressed from making money off of disability? No shame in that, of course, but kinda a strange flex. Probably the military disability. Like, he wants people to believe he got blown up when he probably got a concussion from running into a door jam on a sub. It's pretty specific, but something I witnessed a few weeks ago. A friend and her boyfriend and me were jogging in our local park. There were 2 girls, pretty girls in my opinion, also jogging past us, and in true German fashion we all greeted each other in passing, and I thought nothing more about it. My friend made a comment about how one of the girls only looked at him when she said hello. We brushed it off because it was just a strange thing to say. We were literally jogging past. When did she expect her to do? Stop and look at each of us directly in the eye. Fast forward some time, the subject isn't even in our mind anymore, but it was certainly on hers. I can't remember all of the things she said, but some comments she made about this one girl who literally just ran past and said hello, where she had a big nose. She needs to keep running because she's fat. The trainers she was wearing weren't even running shoes. Why is she wearing makeup to jog? She must be desperate for attention. And some other wild assumptions about her lifestyle and personality. I was just baffled at this reaction. I didn't even know what to say, and her boyfriend didn't either. He just responded to most of it with "I didn't notice. I was concentrating on jogging." I definitely think this is a sign of insecurity, and from the look I saw on her boyfriend's face, the beginning of the end of their relationship. This is why sometimes I feel uncomfortable around couples. I'm naturally pretty friendly and extroverted, but now I usually talk mostly to the woman, because I've had some crazy acquaintances talking about how girls because they are overly friendly with their partner. Asking people how much. A friend of mine who is an idiot and still can't finish university is currently making good money with his family business. They sell construction material, and due to Argentine inflation, that industry is booming. So he goes everywhere asking how much they earn as professionals with college degrees, saying university is useless. I have no problem by saying my salary or discussing about it with a coworker. What I'm trying to point is the fact of this guy desire to compare himself and feel better just because he is making more money than his social circle average. Asking coworkers how much they earn despite how much it pisses of a company is good, because if a company is paying one person half of what someone with the same job at the same company is making, then you can sue said company. Asking people how much they make so you can gloat however is a douche move. I wish employees talk to each other about their salaries more, then it'll be harder to underpay people. I've been paid less than my predecessors in the last 3 roles, same company, despite taking on more tasks than them and being more capable. This might be mean, but filters. If you use a filter on yourself, you're insecure about how you look. Used to use dating apps and was so bothered by how many girls used filters, it makes them look so different from reality. And I don't see the point in it. If you're looking for dates, they're gonna see your face eventually, okay, but like some filters are fine, they can help improve your photograph artistically, like the color shift filters, not the Snapchat ones, just photo filters. Yeah, I'm talking about Snapchat filters. I saw so many dog filters it made me give up on online dating. Yeah, I don't even really do cute cause I'm like whatever, I don't want the poor guy to get scared of me the first morning when they actually see my face. After many years of dating failures, I'm starting to have the impression that people do need the illusion and I will die alone. Jaked up truck, oversized tires, virtue signals, or when I see adults who are defeated by a 4-inch fabric mask. The mask parts makes me chuckle as a morbidly obese person wearing them with little complaint. Yes, they kind suck and are annoying, but being mildly inconvenienced, it was more worth it than dying slowly and painfully. There are easier ways for them to tell us their tongue game is second worst to their pull-out game. Happy to give a chuckle in dark days. Stay safe. Claiming to be an alpha male, I find guys who do that to be incredibly insecure. I'm prior military, in an amazing relationship with a woman I supported through a law school, and I work in the financial industry. I have never felt the need to publicly claim that I'm an alpha to show my worth. I also think the entire system of ranking masculinity is ridiculous. Just because a UFC fighter could kick my not make him more of a man than me. Do the dishes, play with your kid, feel your emotions, help others, and live your best life. That is what will make you a great person. I don't think this post asked for your life story. Sounds a bit insecure really. Thank you for your perspective. Best of luck on doing your part to make the world a better place. Being obsessed with any show of wealth or status. Massive houses, flashy cars, bling culture, designer fashion, etc. Spending more money on something because of the belief that it's better because it's more expensive. The richest people I know don't flaunt it. You'd never know it just by looking at them, their car, their house, etc. They are rich, probably because they don't spend their wealth flaunting their wealth. True. The owner of the company I work for has more money than most, but when he comes into town, he drives an almost 20-year-old minivan that he bought from his parents, so he could have something to drive and save money from renting a car. Insulting someone you're pursuing romantically or otherwise, the moment you meet them. Some people use it to lower someone else's self-esteem and make them feel good about having someone who likes them because they are convinced that they are inferior to that person. I've been on the other end of it once on a date with an internet guy and it's just disgusting. Anyone who immediately becomes nasty on rejection. I was way too old before I knew it was common for men to get real nasty when being turned down, and it makes me ashamed for the many men who do this. This is an actual story from a friend of mine. After talking to more of the women in my life, it's apparently depressingly common. Random guy, hey girl, you're looking good. Can I get your number? Friend who is girl, sincere, oh thank you for the compliment, but I'm with someone already. Guy, whatever, you're too ugly for me anyway. Nasty fat. Like come on dude, we all know getting rejected sucks, but man it's not that poor girl's fault you were unsuccessful in your pickup attempt. Texan here. A giant lifted pickup truck. Add lights in the wheel wells, smokestacks, rolling coal, or big shiny drug dealer rims, trailer hitch ball sack, offensive political bumper sticker, some opinionated sticker, Yeti bumper sticker, giant Trump flag, giant don't tread on me flag, don't tread on me sticker, NRA sticker for added bonus points, giant unneeded light bars all over, and drive it like it's a race car not a workhorse for additional bonus points. I'm sure this has already been posted, but posting selfies all the time. Look, we get it. You need everyone to reassure you with reactions and even better, comments, so you can get that little dopamine hit all day long. It's extremely obvious you need this. Find a healthier way. Stop it. No one needs to know what you're doing every single day, and what your face looks like every single day, and especially multiple times a day. Seriously. And, I know some people are just unbelievably vain and self-centered. One of my longtime friends is like this, and he thinks he is the hottest, and is God's gift to women and their lady bits. Crazy confident and brazen. But I know that mfa. He has so many insecurity issues it's comical. I found out that people who cares too much about people taking selfies are even worst. Change my mind. If you were secure you could ponder ideas you don't agree with and judge their merits for yourself. You wouldn't be afraid to leave the entrenched position of your existing opinions to investigate and learn. If you only believe what smarter people tell you to, and deflect any challenge of your beliefs to the people who gave them to you, do you even understand what you're standing for? But inviting people to change your mind is the opposite of what you then go on to talk about. If someone was insecure about their position, they wouldn't ask others to change their mind, they would instead refuse to engage in discussion. This doesn't make sense to me. It seems like you're assuming a lot. I always saw change my mind as an invitation to debate, which is an investigation and learning, albeit a combative one. If you only believe what smarter people tell you to, don't know what this is about tbh. Lifted truck. A tiny number of people need to drive a lifted truck on pavement daily. It costs more to equip, lowers fuel economy, makes more noise, makes parking more difficult, and makes the vehicle slower. Please downvote me rather than explain why you are that minority you insecure people. Get back to your bulldozers, zombie response, and urban assault vehicles. Lifted trucks are everywhere where I live, and it's always those douchebag white trash rednecks that customize their trucks. Either they'll jack it up with huge mufflers, or have big rebel flags flying on the back of them. It's ridiculous. Take my upvote. Those goddamn dog filters on Snapchat. When those came out a few years ago, almost every female in my high school never took another selfie without looking like a half dog half human. It was also, just selfies in general. If I go on your profile, and if 80% of it is nothing but pictures of you, that screams I need attention from random strangers on the internet 24/7. Jesus Christ, get a life. Constantly putting other people down, and never being happy for other people. Somebody talks about something good that happened to them, an amazing opportunity that they have, whatever, and you're instantly rolling your eyes, or trying to bring them down a notch, or trying to change the subject, to point out your own accomplishments / one-up them. Constantly needing validation from others, and actually caring what other people think of you, beyond simply wanting to be on good terms with family / friends / coworkers / roommates / etc. I'm talking about literally living your life based around what other people think of you. If you're a woman, thinking that the only reason you should put in any effort, do your hair / makeup, get dressed, make yourself look pretty / put together / presentable is if somebody else is going to see it, or if you're going somewhere, rather than maybe you just want to feel / look fresh / clean / nice for yourself. Also, thinking that selling inappropriate pictures of yourself on the internet is a viable career path, or something that's empowering, or makes you a strong independent woman, or whatever, especially if you actually want to shame other women for not doing that, and claim that they're the ones who are insecure. Constantly posting pictures of you and you're so online, or bragging about how great your relationship is. Occasionally is fine. Constantly is just overcompensating. Dictating who your so talks to, how they dress, what they do, if they can have social media, going through their phone. Basically always having to make sure that they are not cheating on you, assuming the worst of them, invading their privacy, or not feeling comfortable with them spending time with other people / having other friends. My work sold part of our parking lot to a neighboring car dealership a few years ago. They mostly use the lot for their employees to park in. Currently, we are very slow due to the pandemic, so we aren't removing snow in the entire lot as it's expensive and unnecessary. This means those service employees need to drive down maybe a 50-yard drive to another 100-yard drive to get to the main road instead of cutting across the large lot. This costs them 30 seconds tops. One employee in a large pickup truck cuts across the snowy lot and drives up over the curb to avoid wasting that precious 30 seconds. I've got to imagine that person feels pretty insecure about something, but I can't quite figure out what it might be. An intense desire for authority. I see this a lot due to my working at a prison. One guard jumps out at me in particular, who constantly looks for excuses to offenders up, denies them medical, and even toilet paper. I swear he gets off on the thought of being higher up the food chain than someone else. Surprise surprise though, he's also a chronic liar and constantly wants to one-up people and lies about the dumbest. He even lied about being related to one of the lieutenants. It took me a few days to realize it, but now I just knows he's just an insecure. One more little story, since I feel like some people might enjoy the "don't worry sir I'm from the internet" feel of it lol. The same guard I just mentioned tried to teach me and my sister hold to an about face. For the unaware, this is a turnaround movement in the US military. My sister is a veteran. She was in the army for 8 years, if I recall correctly. She was a sergeant and was a golden soldier. I had just gotten out of basic training 3 or 4 months prior, and yes, his facing movements looked terrible. When everything that is different from them is gay. Not like that this situation isn't ideal, yeah it's pretty gay talk we've all heard before, but gay as in homosexual. As if it's a bad thing. I work with some guys that are like this. Coworker wore a pink shirt. That's gay. That music? It's gay. I'm working on getting my geometric / mandala sleeve done on my arm and there are some flowers in the design. Guess what? Apparently it's gay. And being gay is bad I guess? Every time these people say this shit I imagine they're like Republican senators at Gay Bash and then eventually get found out that they love stuffing their mouths with fat wieners. Which isn't bad. You do you. Just don't lie about it. They just seem very insecure about their manhood and identity. People who constantly tell stories about them fighting or trying to say how tough they are. Have a dude at work who does this, and I just pull a smile and nod routine through every story. Like man, you don't come across how you think you do here. This is the end of the video. Thank you guys for staying with me till the end. If you enjoyed watching this, you might as well watch these too.